You'd be crazy to pass up a free pair of headphones. That's what Jaden thought to himself when he passed the bush on his way to the campus cafeteria. Entangled in crisscrossing brown branches was a white snake-like object that broke off into two heads and a silver tip of a tail. As Jaden pulled the headphones from the bush, he watched as they fell limp in the palm of his right hand. Although he saw no immediate damage, Jaden figured the only measure that truly mattered was a sound test. When he plugged the headphones into his phone, he played a random song from his playlist and nearly deafened himself. It sounded amazing. Jaden couldn't believe his luck. He walked the rest of the way to the cafeteria listening to one of his favorite songs. But when he got his tray of food and sat down, the music that was playing in his ears faded at first, then ceased altogether. With a shrug, Jaden assumed his luck had run out. He was about to remove the headphones from his ears until he realized he couldn't. He tugged a few more times, and with a deep breath he realized it wasn't his imagination. What made the matter more alarming was the fact that it didn't feel like he was removing something that was separate from his own body. It felt as if he was pulling his own skin. No matter how hard he pulled, he couldn't separate the earphones from himself, and the harder he pulled, the more painful it was. Then he heard a voice, not his own, or anyone around him, but one that sounded like a metal tire being dragged across asphalt. "You're worthless," the voice roared. Then another voice spoke up, then another, and another. "Putrid," it said. "Wretched. Revolting, inbred piece of trash. Why won't you die?" Jaden felt his heart buck against his shirt. His fingers gripped the paint off the side of the table. "Die?" he muttered to himself, eyes widening. With all his might, he forced himself from the cafeteria table and sprinted toward the door leading back outside. He didn't even stop to notice everyone in the vicinity stare at him bewildered. Instead, he ran until he found an area of seclusion behind the business hall. All the while, the voices screeched death into his head. Then one voice finally spoke up, and every word hung like a nail gun to the brain. It was a feminine voice, one that was nurturing, yet monstrous, familiar, yet foreign. It was a voice Jaden had thought he lost long ago as a boy. It was his mother. "You want the voices to stop, Jaden?" she asked. Jaden couldn't answer. His hands began to tremble. His knees failed underneath him as he collapsed into concrete. Before he could even try to form words, his mother continued. "There's a young man with a black hoodie just above you, on the roof of the building. He's quite distraught, just like you." Who is this?" Jaden wheezed. "What do you want?" His vision blurred behind a wall of tears. "It's simple, Jaden," the voice continued. "If you want the voices to stop, you have to kill him. Kill him tonight. Dismember the body. Burn it to ashes. And Jaden, if you do this, I can come back." "Didn't you hear? I can see you again. It's been so long. I could finally hug my grown son. Now, don't be shy. Look at him." Jaden turned his neck up, his muscles rigid as if he were fighting off rigor mortis. The young man his mother encouraged him to kill was staring back at him, wearing headphones. We good? Okay, I think we're good. What's going on, guys? It's Beckham here. So this is going to be my first official reflections on this is something that I want to do in regards to all the audio stories that I make, where I essentially just come to the mic with you guys unscripted, off the cuff. I didn't write a script or anything. I know a lot of YouTubers do that, but it's just me giving some reflections on what inspires the story that you just heard, kind of my thought process around it all. And yeah, I thought it'd be a nice addition to the story. I'm trying to do like something a little different. It's not completely original per se, but a lot of times you just get just the story and then without the writer's thought process behind it. So I just want to share that with you guys. See how it goes, see how you like it. If you like what I'm doing here, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, we'll jump right into it. So essentially, it's funny because I wrote this story like years ago, to be honest with you, at least 2 years ago. I was in the process of posting on Instagram and trying to really kind of get my writing career off the ground the first time. Then, life happens, right? I got busy with school, things of that nature, and then it just didn't really pan out, so it kind of fell off for a little bit. I didn't give up on writing entirely, but I definitely went to focus on finishing college, making sure I secure a place to live, because I moved, and then also making sure I had my life in order, making sure just certain things were in place before I continued on this journey, right? I didn't want to be the struggling writer. Let's just say that, living in the rinky-dink apartments, poor, working at a cafe or something. It just was the vibe I wanted, right? So when I wrote this story, I'm trying to remember, trying to be honest here, guys. Bear with me. I really can't remember what my initial motivation was. I knew that I had this concept of like, I want to make stories. I want to get better at my prose. I just want to get better at writing in particular, whether it be prose or poetry. But looking at a picture, looking at the aesthetics, and just letting it inspire me to write a story and just seeing what comes from that. And I wanted to get, flesh out from like my usual shtick, right? I'm used to like writing like fantasy and everything, but I wanted to be, obviously, as you read, this story was a little more suspense horror kind of, maybe in kind of in that genre time frame. I want to try something new, right? And so please let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Give me your feedback, honestly, like about the pacing. I didn't want to make these stories too terribly long because I wanted to make it something that I can release on a weekly basis. I can kind of pump out content on a consistent weekly basis, like I said, and just kind of see where it goes from there. So a lot of these stories won't be terribly long, but having said that, my long-term goal is to, put out longer form stories, and I even have a couple of novel series that I'm working on. So these would be something that, can get you guys engaged and really just let you see how I progress over time in terms of my writing ability and the journey, and so you guys will be a part of that. So I'm really excited about it. But I think that was the primary motivation. I saw, I was using Unsplash, right? I don't know if you guys heard of this website or not. It's called Unsplash. You get, at the time, you used to get like these free stock photos to use, and like they're just really, really high quality. And I really enjoyed that. And I saw this picture of the headphones, right? And I was just like, okay, well, see, I like this picture. I like very like you'll notice, like I like very like black and white photos. I'm just a black and white kind of guy when it comes to photography. I love the aesthetic of them a lot, much of the time anyway. And so I was like, I like this. What can I do with this? What can I take this very simple photo of headphones and turn it into something that, that is just not what you expected from just looking at that photograph, right? I love doing that. I think it'd be like the main theme for this channel. And so as we go on, you'll see, within the thumbnail or the video itself, that story, like that crisp, clean image that I'm going for, and just give something like a little bit of a different look, right? And so I think, yeah, I'm gonna continue to do that for now, and I'll adjust it accordingly. But just I want to take that time to just kind of break down the process of what I was kind of going through my mind. I edited it. Oh, Jesus, God. I should crop that out, but whatever. I edited it. There we go. Numerous times, right? And what you hear as the final product was essentially me trying to get better at the editing process. I remember that, the first couple go arounds, I usually want to do 3 edits, and each time I'm looking like something different, whether it be pacing, whether it be word choice, and whether it be, just different aspects of the story. And as the saying goes, less is more, right? So I had way too much in the beginning, way too many filler words, way too many unnecessary sentences, and me trying to chop those down was to get it to like where I eventually felt comfortable recording is what you heard, right? And so I'm trying to get better at that, right? And I'm learning as I go along, right? Trying to improve my skill set and be a better writer, just more well-rounded, more polished in my craft, right? And so that's what it was. So I remember there was a bunch of sentences that I had there on like one of the first 2 drafts that, one of the age-old advice lines you hear is show not tell, and I think I was doing like a lot of telling instead of just kind of like letting the writing speak for itself. And so hopefully that shone through, and what you were reading, you didn't hear a lot of fluff words and sentences. And if you did, hey, I'm not perfect, and that's okay, right? We're starting this journey, and we're gonna get better, and sometimes, you can, writing style is different, and what might work for some writers might not work for another writer. And same thing with audience. Maybe some audience might be annoyed by the style, maybe some audience might be, oh, this is cool, right? As far as recording goes, right, recording is like very, like, I'm still getting used to this. First of all, getting used to the sound of my own voice, but also like how can I put it, trying to enunciate clearly. Yes, that's what it is. Trying to enunciate clearly, and trying to be more just refined in my speaking. Like being from like the South, right? So like I'll say certain words that don't always come out clearly, and it's like I even had like an edit in there. Like there was a part in the story where like I just clearly messed up on the word, and I could have redone it. I could have cropped it out, but I just kept it in. And for me, it's like, okay, starting again, like we're starting this journey. Let's just sort of progression. Let's be raw and uncut. Maybe over time I'll get a little bit more polished. I'm sure I will, especially if I see that it's going to help the engagement process, and helps you have a better listening experience, because ultimately that's what I want. And so yeah, but I just want to keep it raw and uncut, and just let you guys see the product for what it is, where I'm starting at, and yeah, that's where I'm at. So like I said, this is the first story, the first of many, hopefully, God willing. And we're going to keep this thing going, man. We're going to keep this thing going. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Again, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And just give me your honest feedback. What you like, what you didn't like. And yeah, we're gonna continue this. It's going to be week 1. Again, God willing, it'll be many more stories to guys. I think my goal right now is 100 stories. 100 stories. I know. The first of 100. It's gonna be a race. It's gonna take some time. We're gonna get there. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have some fun. I like what we're doing over here. So guys, remember, I'll see you guys next time. Feel free to shoot a comment to me. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, right now I'll be posting on YouTube, Instagram, and after a while we'll see about other platforms. But I want to get a solid footing on these 2 platforms, so you can see those links down in the comment in the description. Remember, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.